Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Claire Calvo bringing you your weekly renewal. Today I have registered nurse Melanie, who is an emergency room nurse, and she's here today to share her experiences over the past year, as well as where she is now and her overall take on holistic health. Welcome, Melanie.
First of all, I would like to thank Claire for letting me speak today about the effects of COVID-19 on frontline healthcare workers. COVID-19 struck our island on March 15th of 2020. It was one of the first confirmed cases of COVID-19. As of today, there is over 8,700 cases of COVID-19 with over 130 deaths here on the island of Guam. The healthcare emergency was declared on March 14th of 2020. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero put on the healthcare restrictions and the restrictions of movement and the stay-home orders. In addition, there's been quarantine rules for travel on and off of the island as a whole. Being prepared for this pandemic, we were prepared when it had to do with supplies, and we were prepared when it had to do with the manpower. It was more that we were not prepared for how the workflow was going to change and how our lives were going to change over the next year. We didn't expect for this pandemic to last this long. Protecting your health as a healthcare worker is hard. I mean, it's one of the hardest things ever. You pour so much into being compassionate for your patients and being compassionate for the well-being of the rest of the island. I mean, it got to a point where we were working, 48 hours or more per week in order to staff, the unit, just because we had to change the workflow and change the way that we took care of patients and decrease the number of patients that we took care of per nurse in order to just be able to give adequate care to the patients, because the COVID-19 patients are extremely sick. When they come to the hospital, it's two extremes. They're either not aware that they have COVID-19 and totally asymptomatic, or they are extremely sick. So as a healthcare worker, for me, I had to learn to take care of myself and to make sure that I had, food, and make sure that I had water, and make sure that I took care of myself in order to protect myself from not only the exposures of COVID-19, but for my own health and, preserving my own health. So I want to say this has been a tough year. It's been a tough year for everyone, not including the frontline workers. It's been a tough year of being at home, being with your loved ones 24/7, children not going to school. It is a stress to everyone, and our island is returning somewhat to a normal status, but we still need to protect ourselves, and we still need to be aware that COVID-19 is still able to be spread. We are approaching the point of where, the herd immunity is going to come, but now I would say that more than ever, everyone needs to start to do self-care. Learn ways to go out into nature. We have a beautiful island here full of beaches and jungle and places to go, and I feel like we need to take advantage of the fact of we have a lot of fresh fruits and fresh vegetables that are available to us, and we need to learn to be more sustainable when it comes to that. And I've learned over the last few months that I've not always taken care of myself the way I should have. I should, I can say it all day long, and I know it all day long. I have plenty of friends like Claire that are very much into holistic healing, and I'm very much into holistic healing. However, I sometimes lose sight of the fact of I need to take care of me. I want to thank Claire for letting me talk about today about the effects of COVID-19 on the island, and I appreciate her reaching out to me for this interview. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melanie, and thank you all. I'll see you next time on your Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.